Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to week 2 of Principles of Management. I know I'm a little late on getting this up for those of you that might have already started looking at week 2. In recapping week 1, you did have that discussion post. The value of management initial posts are due on Wednesday. And of course, your feedback posts are due Saturday. Remember that those close and you will not have access to them after Saturday. I pretty much grade those discussion posts Sunday morning and they're done, and I move on to the next week. So it's highly important that you get everything in for those discussion posts on time because you will not have access to those again. I know people were coming into the class late, etc., and kind of maybe missed that Wednesday deadline, and that's fine. I'm pretty lenient on the initial post this first week, but Saturday you should have at least posted your initial and your feedback post. Um, I got an email about e-textbooks. There are no e-textbooks for this course. Everything's embedded in the course, so there is not an excuse for late assignments because you really don't have to wait for your e-textbook. So under the reading section in each lesson, you'll see a read for your readings and what to read, and you click here, and it opens up to what it is that you need to read for that week. So. And then, of course, a lot of the project, et cetera, is additional research as well. So just kind of make a note on that. Your course project on company creation, again, that's a PowerPoint, and that is due on Sunday. I did get a lot of emails on that. I don't know what's going on if we're not reading the instructions before you email me or you're just emailing me. I don't have a problem with you emailing me, but it clearly states it's a PowerPoint presentation that you'll be doing, and it states how many slides and what needs to be on each slide. Not only that, I went over that in the announcement. So you got to make sure that you're watching these announcements because I do go over these assignments to kind of help with a lot of questions. But I also know it's the first week and, it's a little crazy. So please make sure you are watching these. And that again is due on Sunday. And the live lecture I did move. Again, it's not mandatory for you guys, but highly encouraged because it is the same information that we'll be covering over the 11 weeks that I will be seeing you. But I did move them to Mondays from 6 to 7 and 5 to 6 is Central Time because some of my classes got moved around. So I will send out the recording as usual. And again, it's only going to be for the first 6 weeks, of course. But you will also have a review for your midterm, which you'll have, and then one for your final. And those will be specifically for your midterm and final. So your course project, I had also some questions on the timeline. Basically, the first week, all you're going to be doing is that PowerPoint on company creation. And then in week 4, you'll go back and do a little bit more on your course project, week 6, week 8, and week 10. So you're going to be kind of putting all of this together for your course project in sections. So you certainly want to keep that information. You will be able to kind of go back and get your assignments through the course. I won't close you out of those, but you will want to keep them on your computer or a flash drive or something so that you do have them to make sure that you're putting those into your e-portfolio as well. That's another way that you can kind of keep that information in there once it's graded with the rubrics. And you guys will start to see that as you start seeing the first assignments being graded. So kind of reviewing this just real quickly again, this is exactly the information that was in there for your introduction, for your company creation, and the information that you need for this assignment. So looking kind of real quickly at this again, it literally states 5 to 8 slides, create a title slide. Again, please have your name on it as well. And then you'll create a slide, create a slide, create a slide, create a slide. And then of course it tells you exactly what's in there. So please make sure you guys are reading this carefully and thoroughly. And if you still don't understand it, please email me. I have no problem with that. And again, looking at kind of the breakdown of the transferable skills. I know I had some questions on that too. Basically, this first one is really dealing with communication. And that basically that final slide where you kind of collate everything that you've researched on your company creation and kind of presented that final slide on the importance of your company for your investors and why your investors should take the time to even give you any money based on what you've presented. So that's really what we're looking for on that communication piece. that has that professional tone and organization as part of communication, and not to mention, of course, proper APA spelling, which means you've included any citations or reference slide, which I've seen a few of them already, and they have been great. So looking at lesson 2, we're really going to start talking about utilizing teams and team dynamics, characteristics of teams, development of teams. So those are your online lectures and, of course, your readings that you will have. And then you've got a discussion post and a written assignment this week. This week's objectives are going to examine the role and value that teams have within a business. We want to distinguish the differences between the 5 stages of team development. And then we want to interpret how technology has changed team management techniques. So we're going to be doing that first technology piece and how it impacts teams through your discussion post. So virtual teams are no longer a new concept. We've been doing online education now for a while, and I think every year we tend to add some more things to it to make it a little bit more robust and lively and more real time than it has been before. So they're essentially, that's the way that the business world it has moved to virtual teams. So I need you to kind of research and read the article, and all you'll need to do is click on the button that says here, and the article will open. You'll want to read the article and answer the following questions. In your opinion, what are two unique challenges that managers face for virtual teams? And then do you believe that technology like Adobe Connect that I'm using here, and for the live lecture, Skype, iJot, anything that you can think of, kind of adequate replacements for face-to-face conversations, and why or why not? And I really have a hard time with the term face-to-face, because really, what does face-to-face mean anymore? Because at this point, using things like FaceTime and Skype, I am face-to-face with somebody. So you can still get that nonverbal piece of communication if I can see you and you can see me in real time. However, when we're in those live lectures and nobody turns on their camera, it's still going to be more like a radio talk show, and all I'm doing is seeing myself. But you guys have the opportunity to see, my hands moving around, my facial expressions, etc. So again, is that adequate? Not adequate? Your written assignment is on team experiences. So basically you're going to talk about your experience either with work or a team or school or anytime that you worked on a project. Again, this paper should be 2 pages in length, roughly. Adhere to APA standards, and of course address the following questions. You want to summarize the team that you've chosen, describe the number of members, the projects that you worked on, or the project that you worked on, and the overall purpose. And then you want to kind of explain those 5 stages of team development, describe the actions that the team took, list out each stage and give detailed descriptions of the team working in those stages, and be sure to include the emotions of the team, the behaviors of certain members, or, again, as you're describing that information. And then evaluate whether or not you believe the team was successful and explain why you feel that it was successful or was not successful. And then, of course, maybe you need additional development. What would you have done differently, etc. Try to turn my little arrow off. There we go. So this kind of breaks down kind of that summary of your written assignment. 3 points for summarizing, applying those stages, 7 points. So very important that you apply all of those stages. Evaluate the success through examples. So I do expect to see that example there through all of those stages. That's 7 points as well. And then, of course, spelling, grammar, punctuation, 3 points. So as we watch these announcements, I am going over these assignments. I'm trying to help you kind of go through, what you need for your e-portfolio, how to put that stuff together. So it's very important that you do watch these each week, because I am going over what's expected of you and kind of highlighting the previous week as well. As we get moving, I'll start trying to highlight what's coming up as well to kind of help you move through the course. Not to mention, extra credit questions are only going to be available in the announcement, so I highly encourage you to watch them each week. I try not to make them very long. And if you do have questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to me. Emailing me tends to be the best way. I am on the Ocala campus. It's going to be 1 night a week. But you can always use the course wall, ask questions to your classmates. You have the student lounge. You have the course questions. You can email me for a time if you need to talk to me specifically. We can and set up that appointment either by Adobe or by phone. So hope everybody has a great week too, and I will see you guys on Monday.